Let's go,
Or do you want
Andy.
to
Why
just
don't
go?
you listen to me? Why don't you listen to me, Andy? Why? Please explain to the people why I don't get listened to.
Strong open, Cam. Okay, so I do listen to you, to be fair, but I think often I've struggled to let people help me. And I think that's just a general point. And there's been lots of times, I'd say, in our friendship, in our business relationship, where, yeah, you've given like really solid advice. You and I joked in a voice message the other day that we're like a nagging couple. Like, you will nag me about something 5 or 6 times over a period of like several months. And then, like, maybe the fifth or sixth time that you nag me, I'm like, okay, Cam has nagged me about this thing 5 or 6 times. Maybe I'll do it. So I think it's just a general point of like struggling to let people help you. And I think that's a really common thing in these sort of circles. Like, we all want to be big, strong alpha men who do everything ourselves and be like a lone wolf. And sometimes I would say the thing that I struggle with, probably like everyone, is humility and saying, like, okay, maybe you're right. So that's why I don't always listen to you, but I respect you
Yours is just
and I love you.
sorry. Love you too. Do you know what's interesting? I don't think I struggle from the letting people help me. I struggle from the trying to do everything at once thing, which I think is the more
Yeah.
the other thing that fucks people. Because I accept a lot of help, but then I still stretch myself somehow. So like I've managed to accept a lot of help, and then have like 6 projects going on, which is a little bit like, what are you doing? Like just because it feels like I'm just using the help I'm accepting as an excuse to try and do 15 things at once,
Hmm.
which is my issue. So we have different issues, I think, on the projects front. But we're both, we're both give ourselves a bit of credit. We're both doing pretty well. We're both keeping the lights
Yeah.
on. Like I'm not freezing to death right
Yeah.
now, and I'm eating food that I bought with my own money. So like we're doing okay. We're doing the bare minimum survival, the
I mean, you
human
say that,
game.
but I was having,
We're maxing out
bro,
the human game.
I was having this conversation with another guy, Jack Napier. I went on his channel a couple of days ago. And we were talking about like how insane is it, how grateful we can be that we can sit here at home. Like, I'm at home right now. I'm just in my apartment on this chair, and we can just sit at home and earn a living. Like, that in itself is insane. The vast majority of human history, people have never been able to say that. The vast majority of people on this planet at this moment in time aren't able to say that. And I think because we all consume a lot of content like YouTube, Instagram, blah, 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 we just assume like, oh yeah, it's normal to work from home. It's normal to have your own business. It's normal to like sell a product or be a coach or whatever. It's really not. It is if you watch a lot of that content, which we do, but that's not the vast majority of human beings' reality. So I think it is worth like, I know we're both really grateful for that, but like, I think we're doing better than okay, man. Like, I think a lot of people would be like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Doing okay. All of your income comes from doing whatever the fuck you want, essentially.
Yes, I
And yeah,
was.
we have an
No shit,
audience.
Andy. I was doing understatement for hilarious effect. Thank you. Thank you for explaining my joke to everybody.
But
We're
yeah,
doing
but
very
you know
well.
what I mean, man? Like, I think it's worth like harping on the gratitude because it is something that every now and then I'll forget. Like, it becomes very normal
Gratitude.
to just sit down and do this.
What you call gratitude, I would call perspective. I think that's what the
Mm.
way I would describe
Mm.
it. I don't. It doesn't need to. It can come with gratitude. Gratitude is like another thing almost. Like I have to gain perspective and then be grateful for things. So I have to gain perspective first. So like I gain perspective, I get
Mm.
perspective. I sit back, I go like, you know, I earn quite a bit of money doing all this and other things. I have freedom to be wherever I want. I have all these things, and then I write all these things down. I sit in the perspective, and then I work on the gratitude. And it's like there's like the 2-step process that I do. The perspective helps because the perspective makes you feel like if you don't do the gratitude and you just do perspective, you kind of shame yourself a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It's like the whole people are starving in Africa thing, like eat this
Oh,
food that your
bro.
parents did.
Yeah. I'm not a
So
fan of that. Yeah.
if you don't do the gratitude, yeah, if you don't do the gratitude and you just do perspective, it's just like you're slapping yourself in the face. Like, why are you being like this? Why are you doing this? But whereas like I have all of these things. Like I am in this position. I'm so grateful for that because you swap the shame with the gratitude. That's how you do this 2-step process. I as a bit of recommend like advice for everyone out there, so you don't end up beating yourself. Like Andy and I are very big on having these like fail safes in place to stop ourselves hitting ourselves in the face with the mallet of shame. I was going to do like the whip thing, but I think the mallet of shame makes more sense.
The hammer of shame, the fucking sledgehammer of shame, sledgehammer of shame. The shame sledgehammer. Yeah, bro, it is such a freaking sledgehammer, or a whip if you're
The
into
shame
that, which you
hammer.
clearly
The
are.
shame hammer is definitely what we're going to call it from now
The
on.
shammer. The shame hammer. We're workshopping too hard on this. Whatever. The shame hammer. Say that really fast 10 times. Shame hammer, shame hammer. But yeah, man, it's so easy to fall into shame. And I think sometimes I've felt like guilt of like, oh, I should listen to Cam more. And as soon as that word should comes in there, it's like, get rid of that. But I think often we do beat ourselves up with shame and all of that. We're like, I should listen to people more. I should get out of the house and talk to more women. I should work on my business. If we can stick all that shit aside and just say, okay, what do I want to do? We'll take a lot more action.
Yeah, because like, so this is the personal point. Like, I had to hear like this is only like a brief thought I get, right? But I hear you say, Taylor told me to do this, I'm going to do it. Or Ravi told you to do this, I'm going to do it. And then in my head, I'm like, I told you that 6 months ago, you bitch. And then like it's only for a second, because then I move into the oh, I'm just happy that he's fucking doing it. Like because I moved. There's certain things that I got to the point of weariness. I'm just like, oh, whatever. Like case in point, the email shit. Like just there was the thing about like some of your systems are just not well set up because you don't give a fuck like about like efficient systems. Like that doesn't get you hard, you know what I mean? That doesn't get you excited. That's not the stuff that gets you up at night, you know what I mean? Like you don't care about the efficiency of your fucking like back end of your coaching. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't give a fuck. Like so to get you to do any of that, you kind of have to catch you in the right mood and be like, yeah, this might help you, man, if you do this. To get this, guys, I'm not talking to you for a second, but Andy had to manually email everybody for a while because he hadn't set up his he had a bunch of stuff where he collected emails and then he had to manually sort out which emails received emails. Whereas if anyone understands ConvertKit or Kajabi or any of these things, they usually put everything in a central place and you don't have to do that. But like for some reason, the way Andy had it set up, it was like, oh, I'm having to manually email everyone.
Yeah. It's like you don't care about efficiency. I think kind of like what you said before, though, it's just that there's like a billion things in your head. It can sometimes be hard to like pay that cost up front of like, I'm going to work on building a system or I'm going to make whatever I'm doing more efficient. So I'll save more time in the long run. I mean, the same thing with dating and all of that. Like how many people play on hard mode and they'll
Delayed
have like shitty
gratification.
pictures? Yeah, it is, man. And it's like
It's
sometimes
difficult
you're
to
almost
justify
weighing.
delayed gratification. That is the flaw sometimes of your. That is the flaw of your philosophy sometimes. Is the do what you want philosophy requires a certain amount of control and perspective on what will be better for you in the future, because you might
Yeah,
have to
it's
do
like
some stuff
think
that's
longer
not.
term.
You
Yeah.
really have to focus on what you want long term in order to be doing what you want. Because you can like get up in the morning and be like, I don't want to fucking wake up right now. I want to stay in bed for 10 hours or 5
So I
hours.
just will.
But then
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
but then you have to like look at like, what does me in 5 years want? And like,
Yep.
which one do I want to give more weight to right now? Like, do I want to give the guy who's tired right now more weight than me in 5 years? Like, you have to like, there's like competing desires and goals, and you have to like be aware of like which one is actually the one you want more, and like, is it not just like short-term emotional state or short-term physical state and all that stuff?
Yeah,
And
bro.
so
We all have.
it's actually quite a difficult. I think it's difficult to follow the do what you want philosophy. I think it's not. I don't think that's easy. I think it requires a certain amount of like discipline, and also it's funny that, isn't it? It requires discipline to follow the lifestyle of do what you want. That's kind of a.
I would say it
It seems
requires
like a paradox.
perspective. To
Yeah, yeah,
use your
yeah.
word, it requires perspective. Like, what will my ideal self want? That's what I always ask. It's like, do what you want, but tie that in with what your future self would say. And so, if you're ever confused, literally imagine you're having a conversation with your 80-year-old self who's achieved all his goals or her goals, super happy, they have their life together. What would that person say to you right now? And maybe they would say, look, I know you don't want to get off the couch. You want to lay there. You're tired. You're exhausted. But like, I promise if you go for a walk, you will feel better. And so you go, okay, well, what my animal brain wants is to lay here and do nothing and just all of that. But that isn't really what my higher self wants. That isn't what I'll be happy with. Like if I do that, I'm not going to feel good about it afterwards. So you're right. There is a certain like almost future projection or like imagining what my future self will be happy with. Will I be glad that I laid on the couch? And sometimes the answer is like, yes. Like, yeah, I'm fucking tired. It would be nice to just lay on this couch for the next hour. I'll probably get more work done afterwards. Okay. Lay on the
Yeah.
couch. So yeah.
There's also like
Yeah.
it's like you and your future self, not and like your height or whatever, your different goals. It's not you and what does your mum want. It's not you and what does your like family want from you. It's not you and what does your boss want. That's what we're trying to future you is still you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and your multiple selves in terms of like what different desires you have and like different depending on your state or whatever. Like you say, your higher self. I don't really call it like that. I think I mostly look at it as like your present self and your future self. And then there's like different. There's your future self in a week, and there's like your future self in 5 years, and like there's different things you do for like those different things.
Yeah.
But those are what you're working towards, not, and it's not like what society wants from you. This is what we mean by do what you want, which is like detach yourself from like the conditioning you've had from other people and the conditioning you've had from your society generally, to like focus more on like, what do you actually want to do? Like, are you studying to be an engineer right now because you want to do engineering, or are you studying it because your dad told you to and you're Asian or something? I don't know. I didn't really get this sort of
Yeah.
pressure. I don't know. I didn't grow up in like East Asian family households or Jewish family households that have that kind of pressure. I was actually given
Yeah.
the choice of like doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do personally.
Yeah, I was too, which is an absolute blessing. I think that's one of the things. Okay, this is going on a slight side tangent for 2 seconds here. You know, all the things that people point to and they say, you have that, and that's why you're successful. I don't have that thing, so that's why I can't do what you've done. So, height might be one. There are lots of short kings out there who think that they're a short fucking peasant, and they're like, that guy's 6'2", that's why he gets the girls. I can't do that. Or lots of guys that are bald. That guy's
We
bald.
have,
Or
yeah, you and me have these luscious heads of hair. That's why we get laid. We just
yeah,
can't. Like when I swipe my head to this side, my hair flicks into a girl because she's just like desperately trying to sleep with me. You know,
we don't have hair, in case any of you didn't notice. But there's these
what?
like things that people that I know it's shocking, right? Oh my goodness. There's these things that people will point to and say, like, that guy or that girl has that thing. I don't. That's why they're successful and I'm not. But I'm surprised there are lots of things that people don't point to, which are actually more of a contributor to success. So one of them is upbringing. And yes, like lots of people talk about that, but they'll talk about money. You think money is what leads to a successful human being or a happy human being? You think the person, like how many people grew up in a rich as fuck household, but their parents completely and utterly neglected them because they were so rich and they were focusing on business and making money. And so it's those little things of like, did you have people that believed in you when you're a kid? You and I did, our parents. Did you have like a social friendship or something, a bunch of friends that cared about you? If you didn't, like I know you went through some struggles in high school and university with friendships, that can affect you negatively. I went through the same shit that led to a lot of my depression and suicide and all of that. So yeah, there's all these like little
And then
factors that
doubly
influence,
so for
and they're not,
relationships. And
bro.
like, what did
Yeah,
what did you
yeah,
what did your abuse, the relationships that you had that went very south? Like, what effect did they have on your development? You know what I mean? Like, are you
dude.
right
Yeah, I
now?
felt
How many
so
years?
isolated.
I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't like talking like this. But like, how many years behind do you think you were because of the relationships, or because of like the damage they did? Do you know what I mean? Did they set you back like years of development, and to some
behind and
degree?
then ahead. Behind and then ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so you can, what I mean by that is, yes, I was massively behind. I was incredibly
You had to
isolated in
claw
my
a bigger
second
deficit.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's almost like a rubber band effect. Like the more you pull on a rubber band, when you let go, it obviously slingshots way further forward. And so think of any of you listening, think of your what you call flaws or your things that you call yourself a victim over, like I'm too short or I'm this. Think of that as like a rubber band. If you're behind, great. That means you're going to try 10 times harder, or you have the opportunity to try 10 times harder. Yeah, I had to really fucking hustle when I was 28, getting towards 29, and I'm like, oh my god, I'll be 30 soon enough. I don't have a single friend. I don't know how to talk
How
to
scary
women.
is being 30? How scary is turning 30? That's like the end of
I
everything.
was so scared of that. And then when you turn 30, you just don't give a fuck. I'm almost 38. I'm
You turn
38
30, you're
next
like,
month.
oh my god, my 30s are really good. Like my 30s, I'm 2 years in. My
Yeah,
30s are fucking sick.
dude,
Your 30s are
I'm
great.
excited to turn 40 now, which I never thought that I would say that. Maybe excited isn't even the right word, because I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. And then if someone's like, you're 40 now, I'd be like, oh, I guess so. Yeah. I feel like 50s is going to be even more like that. So, yeah, but I was terrified to turn 30. I thought my whole world would fall apart and no one would like me and all of that kind of shit. But
Bro, I'm
yeah,
not gonna name
guys,
his name, but
use.
there was a creator or something I saw a little while ago that was like, oh, I think he's turning 23. And he was like,
Yeah,
I'm turning 23
I'm too
soon. And
old.
obviously you need to achieve You need to achieve everything you want, everything in your life, because your best years are like 21, 22. I was like, bro, like, what?
Uh,
Like, I don't even know where you got that from. Like, I've never heard anyone say, I've never
That's
heard
cute
anyone
though.
say
Come on.
your
Like,
best
look,
years
I'm
are
gonna
like
do
21, 22.
bro, I'm gonna do
Maybe
that
people who
boomer thing
peaked
that
at like college. I don't know.
bro, I'm gonna do that boomer thing that I used to get so pissed off when I was young. When I was 20, I used to hate when older people did this, ready, but I'm gonna do it because it's funny. Isn't that guy so fucking cute? Like coming from a 37, almost 38-year-old man, that guy's adorable. I want to give him a little pat on the head and be like, oh, little boy, you're 23, young man. I am 15 years older than you, and I'm telling you, you're not too old. These are not your best years. It's fucking cute that you think you know that. It's like when
Crazy
I was
determinism
18
as
to
well.
25. You
It's
think you know
crazy
everything at that age.
determinism. It's like
Yeah.
like
Bro,
it is
yeah,
set
to
in
say
stone
these
that
are my
these
best
years of your life
years,
are your best years of your life. It's crazy. Like, honestly.
stop and think about what he's actually saying. He doesn't probably realize he's doing this, but he is, and any of you that do the same thing, you don't realize, or he doesn't realize what he's doing is saying, the rest of my life is going to suck ass. Like you said, that's determinism. You will now make that come true. So what's he going to do when he's 30? He's going to be like, oh, I guess I have to slow down because these aren't my best years. He won't go to the gym as hard. He won't try as hard. He won't work on it. Like, I don't know what he'll do, but he probably won't work as hard in his 30s or 40s or 50s because he'll go, I'm old now. I lost my best years. Like, those are the kind of mindsets that mean when you hit your 30s, some of you talk like this, and it's okay, but some of you talk like this where you're like, I missed out on my 20s, so it's too late for me. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? The best time is right now. And you and I have had this conversation to death, but bro, I would rather be 30 than in my 20s. If we're talking about dating and meeting women, I would rather be in my 30s. I would rather start in my 30s as like a virgin or something who's never talked to a single woman. I'd still rather be that guy in my 30s than that guy in my 20s. And if you're 20, by the way, like don't then use that as a reverse excuse and go, oh, I have to wait till I'm 30 before I take action. No, go talk to women, go start that business, go make friends, go do whatever. But like the best time is always right now. And you're right with the determinism comment. If I say right now is my best years, which is what I'm saying, I'm literally saying that to all of you. Do you know why that's true? Because I fucking said it is true. And so if you say this right now, this moment in time is my best years, it will be. If you say these years suck and I missed out, then they will fucking suck. Thanks for hanging out there with Cam and I. And if you would like direct access to Cam and to myself to be your personal coaches, along with Ed and Taylor and all the other members of the coaching group, right now is the perfect time. If you sign up in the next couple of weeks, you'll get $2,000 off the usual price, and you'll get an extra 4 weeks. Again, that is just for the next couple of weeks. I'll leave a link down below. You can jump on a free call with me. We can talk about your goals, what you want to achieve, how I and the other coaches can help you and push you to that greatness. Like I said, you get direct one-on-one access to me, Cam, Ed, and Taylor. We will push you to be the absolute best that you can be.